Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their live-action TV series, their movies, but also their books, novels, comics, and video games, as well as other formats of the Star Wars universe by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that, yes, we do know that they are now currently in a phase of damage control and desperation to really get the ball rolling again when it comes to this massive franchise. One thing about, Bob Iger and Bob Chapek is that they are still working together as a team until November arrives. In case you guys did not know, November is going to mark the very month this year in which Bob Iger is going to stop working on Star Wars and is going to focus on the Marvel Cinematic Universe until he actually leaves Disney completely in early 2021, giving the keys over to Bob Chapek to take control from that point on forward. Now, looking at, the future of Star Wars here, given that Kathleen Kennedy has little to no creative power, thankfully, she only has control over the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series. Both Jon Favreau, George Lucas, and Dave Filoni are really making a lot of progress on this new universe. In case you guys did not know, this universe is going to be a hybrid of Star Wars Legends from the 1990s and the early 2000s, as well as original material that we have yet to see. And that's exactly what they want to aim for. They want to please both the hardcore fans and casual/new fans entering into the Star Wars universe, right? So that's the big deal here, is that George, John, and Dave, they want to do incredible things, and what's even all the more exciting all has to do with creator Jon Favreau and actor Adam Driver, who portray Ben Solo/Kylo Ren in the sequel trilogy movies. Now, of course, with the Skywalker saga now over, both Disney and Lucasfilm are fully embraced with their new Star Wars universe, as well as their new Star Wars trilogy of movies, where it's noted that currently both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are developing major plans in order to reunite the Star Wars fans around the world. George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni are all working together as a team in order to create authentic Star Wars stories moving forward. Now, one major movie, of course, or should I say one major move recently done by Jon Favreau is that he is actually said to be involved with an untitled Star Wars live-action TV series that is all set to include a live-action version of Ben Solo after the events of the Rise of Skywalker. Now, let's stop right here for a second. In case you guys did not know, they do want to continue the Skywalker saga in several ways, and this is definitely going to be one of them. They want to keep the Skywalkers relevant because they know that the Skywalkers sell. They realize that Anakin, Luke, Ben Solo, Leia, you name it, are the main selling points of this franchise, including Darth Vader. Now, further, it's noted that this version of Ben Solo after the events of the Rise of Skywalker by Jon Favreau is going to be very complex, where it's described that Jon Favreau recently met up with actor Adam Driver to portray the character in a brand new way in which he will be united with the ways of the Force and the netherworld of the Force, and that Favreau is aiming to give fans something new to look forward to with Adam Driver. Adam Driver is said to have recently signed on for the role of Ben Solo and his return in the new Star Wars universe for this untitled Star Wars live-action TV series that will give fans a glimpse of Ben Solo through the afterlife, and also in a brand new, unique way that George Lucas will be working on with him as well. Now, this entire plan by Favreau is to make things clear to the fans that they will be continuing the Skywalker saga in several ways in order to do everything that they can as possible. The new series is set for a 2023 release date and is planned to go into pre-production by the end of 2021 for Disney+. Kathleen Kennedy is not involved with this project in any way, shape, or form. Now, one thing that really does intrigue a lot of fans here is the fact that when we actually saw The Rise of Skywalker, we saw that there was no Ben Solo at all on the world of Tatooine. He was not present in the actual movie, and that was the one major mistake by Disney. Kathleen Kennedy was the one who actually called the shots throughout all the reshoots and the rewrites to actually make it clear that Ben Solo was gone and not to be seen. So that was all because of Kathleen Kennedy. Let's not forget about that, is that Ben Solo was not present at the very end of The Rise of Skywalkers because Kathleen Kennedy wanted to make it clear that the Skywalkers are over and that they are done with. And it really was a poor choice because at the very minimum, Kennedy could have included Ben Solo as a Force ghost at the very end of the movie. That's exactly what Jon Favreau wants to experiment with in this new live-action TV series that is going to be a post-Rise of Skywalker timeline. Now, this is not to be mixed up with the animated Rise of Skywalker sequel series. That's going to be completely different. This one, however, is going to be more detached from the sequel trilogy, but Ben Solo is going to be the bridge in a sense, where it'll have a loose connection. So it's not necessarily going to continue, what we saw at the very end of Episode 9. It's not going to be a sequel, quote-unquote, but Ben Solo's presence will be in this new series that Jon Favreau is really going to aim for. And this is going to be yet another Favreau series that he's going to write. Now, we've seen his work with The Mandalorian Season 1, and with Season 2 up and coming, a lot of fans couldn't be more excited. We have Ahsoka Tano in live-action form coming our way for the second season, and the third season, mind you, for The Mandalorian, with Luke Skywalker in the mix for Season 3, which is slated for release next year. Ben Solo being inserted into this new live-action TV series is really going to be quite something. Now, one thing that I think a lot of fans need to know that's very important is that Kathleen Kennedy is not going to be involved with this project. She's only involved with the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series, and that's it. That's pretty much all there is to it. That's all that she's going to be involved with, and that really does speak volumes, because it tells us that Chapek is very much ambitious with the potential that Star Wars has. Essentially, that's what he wants to do. He wants to make Star Wars as powerful as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as successful as it is, and maybe even more successful than that. And he's going to really push for that actual goal in mind. So Ben Solo, this is the one character that a lot of fans actually really enjoyed within the sequel trilogy, there's no doubt about it. Almost just as much as Anakin Skywalker in the prequel trilogy movies. Ben Solo really didn't get as much screen time as he deserved. We got a little bit of him in the flashbacks within Episode 8. And little to nothing of him, mind you, in The Rise of Skywalker. We really didn't get to see all that much of Ben Solo in that movie. And, it was only at the very end of the film that we got to see him with little to no dialogue. And that was one of the major things done by Kathleen Kennedy, by the way, is that she is the one who called the shots for Ben Solo to have little to no dialogue in Episode 9. We could have actually gotten a more different side, if you will, of Ben Solo if it weren't for Kathleen Kennedy. Now, moving on forward, the other thing that really does excite a lot of fans out there is the fact that Favreau is going to be the one responsible of handling Ben Solo in this new untitled project for Star Wars. Now, given that Ben Solo is an ever-evolving character, and he's going to be, they're going to be experimenting with him in both animated and live-action TV shows for Disney+. As of right now, obviously, movies are not on the table for Ben Solo. There's nothing to do with that. A lot of it's going to be to do with television, and it seems as though that Disney is really playing their cards here with television. We have this little hiatus of movies, and that's fine and all. We got the movies to hold us over, or should I say the TV shows to hold us over until the movies arrive. They really want to see how much potential TV shows really are going to have on the Disney Plus platform. We're still in its infancy, right? To this very day, live action wise, we have only had The Mandalorian Season 1. We got Season 2 this October 30th to be specific. Looking forward to it. But we're still in the infancy of live action Star Wars TV series. It's like we're in this stage where we were when Disney had Rogue One coming out. We had that era where we were kind of getting there with the movies, and a lot of fans were expecting more to come and very excited about what was actually going to be for, Disney and Lucasfilm with the new Star Wars movies. And then we saw a decline in that. So hopefully, with the TV shows, we still have this nice, this nice recovery of the universe, where Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George are going to successfully redeem Star Wars, and I think that they will. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
forget